Hello and welcome everyone who could make it today and those who are watching in the future. My name is Letitia with Team Culture, and we're happy to host another Program Spotlight. Program Spotlight gives us a chance to highlight the wonderful work and people that make BH Care what it is. Today, we are spotlighting the vocational services. For those who are unable to attend today or would like to review a program that we've previously spotlighted, Program Spotlight is being recorded and will be posted on that program's respective services page on BH Connect. For example, today's program spotlight on vocational services will be under the adult services page. Any attachments that accompany the spotlight will also be placed under the adult services page. I'll pass it over to the senior program manager, Tracy Cafasso. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming. Yes, our program spotlight is going to be highlighting our adult employment services, Supervisor George on the Shoreline and Linda in the Valley, and the programs underneath them, which are mobile employment and MAT employment. So I will let Linda introduce her team.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for coming. I'd like to introduce Deborah Morriso. She's been with our department for almost maybe 15 years. She is definitely the BRS guru, which is the Bureau of Rehab Services, which will be discussed later on. And she is definitely the one to talk to about second chances. She does the employment the employability pardons, kind of like it's a certificate for people to go back to work. I'd also like to introduce Mark Grove. He's our new MES mobile employment specialist. He has erupted with making more and new contacts every week with new sober homes and reaching out to those who are definitely in need of some assistance obtaining employment. With that said, I'd like to introduce you to George over at the Shoreline.
Hi, thanks, Linda. So I'm George, the supervisor over at the Shoreline, and I'm going to introduce my staff. I'm going to start with Maureen. She has and continues to build many relationships in our communities with different business owners. She's very involved in the different chambers in the surrounding towns, including doing events that are, after hours, on the weekends, things of that nature. So she's very connected and kind of has a pulse on what's going on the Shoreline. Robert, he is our liaison with North Haven Counseling. So he fields all the referrals that are coming from North Haven and kind of stations himself up there several times throughout the week, working with them out of the North Haven Library, as well as on site with North Haven Counseling. And Danielle, our newest team member, she is our MAT employment specialist. So she's working along with the MAT team to service the clients that are on medication-assisted treatment. So right now she's building a caseload with those clients, as we speak.
And before we go on, just a special thanks to our supportive and experienced leadership under Sarah Magestro, Behavioral Health Director on the Shoreline. Thank you, Sarah. And now Linda is going to tell you a little bit about vocational services.
Oh, what's the program purpose? Well, the purpose is to assist individuals with behavioral health, substance use disorders, and connect or reconnect with employment opportunities in their communities. We plan, assess, monitor, support their employment activities, coordinate and link necessary trainings, education, certifications through areas, resources such as fellowship, Bureau of Rehab Services, American Job Center, and Department of Labor, and the Workforce Alliance. These are wonderful, wonderful resources for our folks to get the services or additional trainings and supports they need. We also do benefit counseling for people with SSA recipients available through BRS, and monthly monitoring to employment specialists available to balance part-time employment with their benefits. So we would refer them over to the benefits if they have questions with VRS, or we would actually help and assist to send their information to the Social Security office so benefits will remain steady for them. Population we do serve are adults with behavioral health and substance use who desire assistance with employment.
And then Linda and George are going to talk about the hours in their respective locations.
Ansonia hours. We're located at 435 Main Street, East Main Street, Ansonia, Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. But our hours can be flexible by case-by-case basis, definitely to meet the needs of the client.
And over in the Shoreline, right now we're located at 5 Sycamore Way, the sharing space with options. But as we know, we have a new building coming soon, so we'll be there maybe by the summer. But our hours are generally 8 to 5. We always have someone that's available during those hours, and we're flexible. So if a client does need to meet later on, we can do that, or whatever that might be, case by case. Oh, and eligibility requirements, TMIS diagnosis. So all the clients that are referred to us do have a diagnosis, TMIS diagnosis. So Danielle is going to talk a little bit about our MAT services, which is Medicaid Assisted Treatment. Go ahead, Danielle. You're still muted.
Hello. Thanks, George. So I'm fairly new, and I'm just getting the hang of things. I'm working with the MAT team. I'm working with the other employment specialists, trying to build up a caseload. And basically, I help the MAT clients if they want to write a new resume, explore new career options, maybe just get a part-time job to get out of the house, keep busy. It's been pretty interesting. And I also meet with members of the community, potential employers. I see what spots they might need filled. I work with my clients to see if they would be interested in some of those roles. So it's really branching between our clients that we work with and the community.
Thank you very much. And I'd like to introduce Mark. He will be explaining the mobile employment services.
Hi, I'm the mobile employment services specialist. And at BH Care, I cover Region 2, which 34 towns, so it keeps me busy. The MES operates service delivery out of Demas Sober Homes to effectively meet people where they're at. So I go around and visit the sober home and meet the people that are at the sober homes and work on their resume. We provide counseling, coaching, and then we look at job services as far as getting them employed based on their skill level. MES is a granted fund program addressing opioid use disorder. Specifically, it includes documentations to measure outcomes, to generate funds to sustain and increase assistance to this population. Unfortunately, there's more people than I can handle. So I'm trying to work as fast as I can and get everybody jobs and take on more people. The grant can assist with obtaining work necessities to gain employment, such as ID, interview attire, uniforms, bus passes, and other resources as needed. And we have done that so far to help clients from sneakers to getting them clothes to making them job ready and looking good for the job.
I'm going to talk a little bit about our referral process. So right now, most of our referrals are coming internally, from our clinic and from other departments, but we do also accept outside referrals, such as I mentioned, our affiliate North Haven Counseling. But the internal referral process, works like this. We ideally would like our clients who are interested in vocational services to attend one of our drop-in hours, which I'll talk about when and where those happen in the next few slides. But they would attend the drop-in hour. It's a great opportunity. They can come meet with an employment specialist, ask questions. We can explain how the program works, what we can offer, what we can and can't do, and what we expect from the clients as well, and what their commitment will be to working with us. So it's a great opportunity to just communicate directly, because they probably have a lot of questions that they ask the other departments, and who better to explain than the vocational specialists themselves. So after someone has attended a drop-in hour, at that point, we would reach out to the referral source, which is usually a clinician, not always, and ask for an internal referral to be sent through CareLogic. And then from there, we reach out and get started. It's really quite simple. It's not convoluted, and we want to get the process started as easily and quickly as we can, but also having a chance to talk with folks before they jump into something not understanding what it is. If you want to jump to the next slide, I can talk about those drop-in hours. So for the Shoreline, we have a drop-in hour that's held the first and third Thursday of every month, and that's from 2 to 3 p.m. So that's over at 14 Sycamore at the clinic. So they're generally familiar with the location and able to get there. But we also understand that some folks might not be able to make that time. So we do have flexibility. And in that case, anyone who wants to refer someone who can't make it to drop in can feel free to reach out to me via Teams or email, or call my extension 2064, and I can make special arrangements with that individual as well. And the same goes for the Valley. Their drop-in hours are a little different. They do the second Wednesday of each month at 9 a.m. and the fourth Wednesday of each month at 3 p.m. And that's at 435 East Main Street in Ansonia. And again, there's flexibility there. So if someone is not able to make those times, Linda is able to speak with them and set something up that might suit them better. We just like to try to get folks to go to drop-in as much as we can. It shows that level of commitment. It shows that they can get to a place at a time, kind of like when you're going to work, you need to be at a location, right? But of course, we understand if everyone's situation is different, so we can make accommodations as needed.
This is a general informational slide all about employment services. This is a tool that marketing helped us develop, and we have a big stack of these flyers that we use at both area locations, and we give this information to employers. And there is the ability to get more information, and call Linda and George, listed at the bottom of the flyer.
Oh, let's talk some fun facts. Okay, employment. Continuous employment is an important goal for many people with mental illness. People with mental illness disorders have been shown to obtain independence, establish human connections, maintain and improve self-care, achieve happiness, and initiate self-care transformation when they continue working. Those who are employed have shown a decrease in symptoms related to their mental illness and substance use while working on the job. Employment services here at BH Care has been around almost 3 decades. During this time, staff have connected with hundreds of area businesses and employers. Employment services is subject to regular fidelity reviews, outcome measures for successful employment, and expected to meet or exceed 35% of individuals served. BH Care IPS adult employment have achieved a 63 placement rate over the last fiscal year, which is almost double. Almost, not quite, but we're almost there. But it's actually higher than we anticipated, actually. So, and employment has recently embarked on a collaboration with the Alliance for Prevention and Wellness to develop recovery-friendly workplace to assist individuals retain long-term employment.
Here are a couple of testimonials from the persons we served. There was so many more, but everybody was busy working, so they couldn't get back to us. And if anybody in attendance has any specific questions you'd like to ask about any of the employment programs, we're here for you.
Tracy, I actually have a quick question. I think it's more for George. When you were talking about the drop-ins, I'm curious, like, what kind of volume do you see? Are people taking advantage of those drop-in hours? Are you getting people kind of in most of the time?
Yeah, so it varies. So in the beginning, when we really started implementing that, it was a slow start, because we're trying to get, everyone at the clinic to be familiar and remember the days. That's kind of why we made it a consistent, like first and third. So it's easier to remember. We also have some flyers that we're getting reworked with Tracy Bruno to get those with branding, but we put those out too to make it more known. But yeah, it varies. So like the past few weeks I've had like 2 or 3. I've had 4 before. In the beginning we had some weeks where we didn't have any, but it's been picking up. So I would say on average we have a few people. And the nice thing about the smaller groups is we can individually really have conversations with each person. Whereas we've had 4 or 5 people, it's a little less personal. We don't want to get too deep into their specifics when it's a big group. But we can give the message out to, it's kind of like more efficient to have more people, but more individual to have less. So, so it varies, but I usually have at least a few. And
Great.
most of them end up signing up too, most of the time.
Oh, good.
And in the Valley, we have one session that's a morning and one session that's an afternoon at the request of the clinicians due to folks' availability. And we've had sessions where we've had 5 or 6 individuals, and then we have weeks when there isn't anyone. And things are picking up again. We had some staff out and we're working on getting fully staffed, but the word is getting out through our flyers, through email. Announcements are being made in respective staff meetings about our drop-in hours to encourage it. And it's a very streamlined process. So when people do come and they do indicate they're interested, we get right back to the referral source. I know George and Linda keep an ongoing list of anybody who attends, or we outreach to share the information. And then in turn, we get back to the referral source and the referral goes into CureLogic pretty quickly.
And just to piggyback off what Tracy said, once we get the names of each individual that wants to attend the drop-in hour, what we do is we have an employment specialist such as Deborah, and she does make a follow-up call with them to remind them. And if they're unable to attend, she will make an individual meeting with that person around their schedule, which has worked out really well. In fact, she has just enrolled 2 other people this month because of the fact they couldn't make the group, but they have attended the one-on-one. So each way, everything seems to be working really positively for the team.
Great. Sounds good. Thank you.
And if anyone is interested and unsure about whether or not they want to come to a drop or can make a drop-in, I've been getting Teams messages from Avery, who does the intakes, and he just lets me know, hey, this person's interested. They said they're going to go, and I will call them just to check and remind them, because that follow through. Sometimes they're interested and then they get busy or things come up. So that's helpful as well, like Linda said.
Any other questions? All right, if we have no other questions, Team Culture would like to thank everyone for coming to our Vocational Adult Services Spotlight. If you have any program-specific questions, please reach out to Danielle for MAP, Mark for MES. For any questions regarding Voc specifically, reach out to George for Shoreline, Linda for Valley. Team Culture is aiming to increase these to cover the varying programs that we offer here at BH Care. Thank you again. This recorded program will be posted on BH Connect under Adult Services page by the end of the week. Anyone interested in joining Team Culture, please reach out to Ebony, Emily, or Cooper. Thank you again for attending. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Nice job, everyone. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.